Hello guys, welcome to Tech and Tech. In this video, we're going to talk about rocket artillery and then we're going to talk about the channel. No, let's actually talk about the channel and then talk about rocket artillery. Now, actually producing content for the videos and other things for the channel ever since the beginning of, the new school year because I moved up to high school. And in high school, it's just basically that the level of subjects that you're going to learn suddenly jumps like 10 levels, and then it keeps level during the other 3 years of high school. Now, yeah, I got caught in that jump, and now I have a lot of schoolwork to do. It just doesn't, it's like my program, like my what do they call it, my schedule is very tight. I don't have enough time to work for the channel. In fact, here is what my desk looks like. I don't have enough time to clean it. In fact, you see these are notebooks from different subjects. Like one of them is from math, one of them is from geography, one of them is from in Iran, we in our schools they teach us Arabic and Persian, which in both I have two of them in this blue notebook, if it's seen in the photo. And on the top, I have my chemistry and physics books, and they also each have their own individual side notebook. The chemistry one does. The one on physics is like a special book designed especially for special subjects in the book, because like sometimes a good book explains something very simply and so on. There are these papers to explain them in more advanced terms. Now I try to put on the pages with the most amount of English on them so that it's easier for you to understand. But yeah, this is basically how my bench looks like. I don't even have time to clean it. It just keeps piling up because of the fact that I keep I do my math homework, I leave my notebook here, and when I come pick it up, I see that I also have physics homework, which means that I have to put my physics book on top of the book, and then I have to start writing, and then it just piles up and becomes what you see in this picture. So yeah, school has been going very rough on me lately, and yeah, I basically also I looked at the channel's future, and no matter wherever whichever way the channel goes, it's going to reach a blockade. It's not going to go any further than a certain point, which makes, well, trying to grow the channel useless, because if it reaches, let's say, 1,000 subscribers, that's a very long goal, that's a very long shot. If you want to go there, you have to try a lot. But well, once it gets there, if it gets there, actually it then has 2 points. It can either go to the part where I speak mostly about engineering, in which case it gets challenged by a lot of channels that explain everything in way more detail. There are tons of people, there are teams working on each certain category. One of them does research, one of them actually makes the video, some of them voice it, the others edit it, some of them make animations for their videos, and so on. It's just impossible for me to match their quality. Therefore, there will be another separate path which will be about history, which is also the same problem. I cannot match the quality that other channels provide. And therefore, like if I were to see someone on the street watching my channel over theirs, I just look at them and then just guide them to their channel because, well, they produce more higher quality content. I'm just a high school boy that does this for, well, I don't know why I keep doing this. In fact, that's why I wanted to tell you that I might cancel the channel entirely. I might close it. I might not also close it. I might continue on producing work, pushing myself on further, seeing what I can do, or I might convert the channel to produce a different type of content, or that, well, the channel gets closed down entirely, or that the channel goes down for a long time, maybe after high school, maybe after college, maybe after university. I might come back online again. Who knows? And yeah, that's basically the first subject I wanted to talk to you about because, well, it was important to me, and I wanted to know you that I wanted you to know that the channel might just get shut down. The rest of the things is, of course, about the actual video. We're going to talk about rocket artillery. Now, rocket artillery was also introduced by the Soviets because, well, Soviets were very, you could say, they were very innovative once it came to finding out, well, very difficult and violent ways of executing certain operations. One of them was artillery. Now, artillery was normal artillery. It exists during World War II. The Russians were using it. The Russians enjoyed it. Worked fine. But for some reason, they decided, you know what? Let's attach a fucking rocket into the back of one of these artillery shells, and then let's put this thing on some kind of rails and put the rails behind the truck, and then it became the Katyusha. And Katyusha was just basically one of the first variants of motorized rocket artillery, because our rocket artillery did exist before the Katyusha, but like after the Katyusha was introduced, it truly caught on. It's like the jump I said that you will have from like the things that you'll learn in like ninth grade is well down here, and then like in 10th grade it just suddenly goes up, and like the use of rocket artillery after the Katyusha suddenly skyrocketed because everybody wanted to have a machine as destructive as the Katyusha. Now before that, the invention of rocket artillery goes all the way back to China when gunpowder was invented, because of the fact that the Chinese found out that one of the best ways to make gunpowder work was to make something fly. And well, the first thing they did was fireworks. The second things they did was rockets. So rocket artillery was in fact invented way before guns. And yeah, this idea basically spread to Europe, and the Europeans started making rocket artillery. Rocket artillery did exist even during the Napoleonic era, but there was very little use of it because there was no way to control where the rockets went, and they were very inaccurate. But well, yeah, it did exist at the time. But after, well, they learned that they can be controlled, their trajectory can be controlled by the amount of fuel that you burn in the rocket. It became very simple to aim with the Katyusha and the other rocket artillery that existed at the time, because the Germans had something like this, and then they would just put the rockets in there. It was short range, but well, it did work. And yeah, you just aim the rockets, and then the rockets go boom. And well, yeah, technically that was the start of when the rocket artillery caught on. And after that, during the Cold War, we had the time the thing of rockets got very complicated. We had wire-guided rockets, we had computer-guided rockets, we had ballistic missiles, and they all count as rockets, because don't they? Even though ballistic missiles are missiles, missiles are rockets. There is no doubt in that. And yeah, basically the concept of rocket artillery became that like some artillery were now going to have these missiles that was being controlled, so that like in fact rocket artillery is still around today, even though the starter of it was the Katyusha. Some people think that it died back then, but no, rocket artillery is still around and is still being used, and it's actually very effective, way more effective than what it was back at the time. And yeah, basically mostly because of the fact that rockets nowadays are more destructive than what they were, and that they can now be controlled, meaning that their aiming is now a lot easier than what it was at the time of, well, the Katyusha and the other rocket artilleries. So now rockets that are controlled, they're smaller than what they were, so you could carry a lot more of them. So rocket artillery has become even more destructive. Even more destructive than rocket artillery are ballistic missiles. Now, if you have seen, there are trucks that carry around ballistic missiles, some of these trucks carry missiles that can house a nuclear warhead in their warhead place. So yeah, this rocket artillery is pretty deadly. You can use it very well. If it's not used by a sane man, it can cause a lot of destruction, and possibly a nuclear warhead may be placed in one of these ballistic missiles carried by one of these rocket artillery trucks, because let's be real, these are still rocket artillery, because they have everything that rocket artillery needs to have in order to be identified as a rocket artillery. These guys have anything that, well, as I said, they can be identified as rocket artillery. They just, instead of having multiple missiles like what we expect rocket artillery to have, they just have a lot, they just have a very big missile that they just shoot into the sky. It might have a nuclear warhead in it, might not. Let's hope it doesn't happen that one of them with a nuclear warhead ever goes up high, unless it's for a test or something like that. Anyway, our 10 minutes are over. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel so that I may continue on working on my newer videos. And well, yeah, subscribe to the channel and ring the war bell to be notified of the rest of the wars that will occur on the channel later. Thank you for watching again, and stand by for my next video.